I'm just telling you, my experience with Cruzr is I won't use another saddle. So I ran Cruzr saddles all of the 2022-2023 season. I talked to Chad, the owner over there at Cruzr. We chatted a little bit, and so I got some of their stuff. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. A lot of me wanting to get into saddle hunting was curiosity. I was like, there's no way this tree diaper can be comfortable. Well, I was wrong. It was so daggone comfortable. What really impressed me is, like, some people say they can't sit all day and stuff. Maybe they're just in the wrong saddle. I have the Cruzr Xc in size 1. I was always comfortable. I've struggled with back pain. I'm 28 years old, and I've had back pain for 10 years. I work in physical therapy, and one of my specialties is the lumbar spine. So I was worried. I was like, there's no way this can feel good on my back. I mean, even though I know exercises to do and stuff, my underlying issues are still there. And not once this year did I have any pain in my back while saddle hunting. This saddle system, so daggone comfortable. We're gonna talk about that and why it's important. Now you may be like, Justin, why are you making this video in March? Season's over, too late to buy one. No, it's not. It's a great time to buy one. You need to learn to use your gear. Safety's first. You wanna go out, you wanna have a good time, you wanna harvest an animal, spend time in God's beautiful creation. But most importantly, you wanna come home to your family at the end of the day. You want to ideally harvest an animal to feed your family. It does you no good if you got to harvest an animal and you get hurt and possibly end up really injured where you can never hunt again, or worse, you end up possibly dying because you didn't practice with your gear. So disclaimer, buy the gear, practice with the gear, and learn it inside and out. Unfortunately, I didn't have a tree in my yard. All my trees are gigantic, so I actually had to go somewhere to practice, which is a little awkward, but it's better than not practicing at all. So I'd rather you practice in your yard some, get a feel for it, learn to shoot from it, because it's much better than going an hour from your house, not having cell phone service, getting stuck in a predicament and just being stuck there, having to cut something down to fall out of a tree and hopefully you don't get injured. Another reason I'm making this video now is this stuff can be kind of expensive. It is made in the USA, so it is great quality gear, but you're not paying for cheap China crap. You're paying for good American-made products. So it does get a little more expensive. If you buy like a saddle, platform, some sticks, you got a carry pouch, your normal tags and stuff, you're looking at $600, $700, $800 or more, depending on the quality of stuff you want to buy, i.e. sticks and stuff. So it can be expensive. So one thing really cool about Cruzr is they understand that. So they have a payment plan set up. You can buy stuff, pay it off slowly. You can start saving money now, doing little side gigs here and there, and save up some money to buy it, because buying Cruzr, you are buying that safety net. Literally, it's holding you in a tree 20 foot off the ground with sharp spiky sticks that you climbed underneath you. I would like to invest in something nice and safe versus something cheap made in some other country that when you open it up has torn sewing patches on it. These guys know what they're doing. Everything is probably oversewn a little bit, but I'd rather be oversewn, over durable than ripping and tearing after a season. So let's talk a little bit about some of the parts I really, really love about this. So let's talk about the platform first. It's called the Seeker platform. Cast aluminum, durable. It's Cruzr on it. This thing is pretty light, much lighter than carrying a whole stand in, but very, very durable. A lot of companies, they just use like little plastic pieces here and there. This is the only thing here. I believe that's it. Yeah. It's got this screw on the back. You can screw this in or out further, and that'll adjust like the pitch or the yaw of this. I say pitch and yaw like I really know what I'm talking about. I guess just the angle. Change the angle of that. So if your tree is really steep this way, you can make it this way. Whichever way you need to go with it. It's got these kind of rivets or divots. Kind of hard to see. These are great for traction. I hunted in the rain or wet conditions several times this past year and never had any issues with that. My favorite part of this stand, like I said, this is the Seeker. They also have the Seeker Mini. My favorite part is this slanted portion. I probably had my toes or my feet on this portion probably 75 to 80% of the time this past season, and never had any issues with my feet hurting. And this, I was wearing like muck boots for long times. Like if I was only going for a couple hours, no issues. If I was there more than like 4 hours, my feet would hurt a little bit naturally, but they would do that if I stood anyways. I started wearing more of a rigid sole boot, like I had a Columbia hiking shoe. I had no issues with that at all. Going back real quick to what I said about back pain, I hunted in my, I was literally choosing to hunt in this saddle over sitting in ladder stands that my dad had set up on his property. That's legitimately how comfortable it was. So let's jump into the saddle a little bit and let's talk about it. This is the Cruzr Xc single panel saddle in black and OD green. If you can't tell, I really like this combination. And it is just so nice. Like I said, it is the XC1. I believe they write it on here for you. Size XC1. I'm 5'8", 160. I'm not a big dude. So if you're a bigger dude, you may have more issue with pinch points. I had no issue with pinch points at all. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I got lucky and figured out the right sizing for it pretty quickly. But what's really cool, what sets Cruzr apart, got like the logo and stuff there. I don't know how they came up. I don't know how Chad came up with the name Cruzr. I pretend CR is like Chad Rice uses zinc rifles. I don't know. But this panel, even though it's just a single panel, it's got this line right here, this crease. Pop. Look how big that gets. So if you got an absolute, badonkadonk, or you need to raise this up and get some more like lumbar support, it's capable of doing that. I've heard some people say they have issues with this. Once you wear it all season, it stretches out. I wore it all season, it did not stretch out. One of my favorite, absolute favorite features, oh, we gotta talk about this too. Made in the USA, baby. So you're paying for good quality gear, putting money in your neighbor's pocket. So obviously I love that. I'd rather spend a little extra to know I'm getting good quality stuff and supporting my own communities, my own neighbors. So one of my absolute favorite features of this is this buckle system. They're not cheap little buckles that click and clank. These are good metal buckles. Just, you can hear the goodness in them. Oh wait, that's not the right buckle. Sorry. I had the thigh buckle. All right, this is the right buckle. Just listen, it's good metal. Just love it. If you want to be real quiet about it, you can just push these buttons in. Did you hear it? No, you didn't hear it. Here, I'll get closer. Boom. Quiet. No loud clacking noises. Good metal, sturdy, solid. So before I made this video, I sat here and thought, I can't just say good things about it. I gotta think of something bad. I never came up with anything. Cruzr literally thought of everything. And by Cruzr, I mean Chad and his team. One thing you don't want, walking in the woods is these big flappy tag ends and stuff. So they even put in these little clips here, little like belt loops. So you slide that out for as long as you need. Boom, put that on. Much shorter tag end. It's the way it's supposed to be. You want everything neat, streamlined, safe, ready to go. You don't want it to snag. You don't want any hang-ups. You don't want catching anything while you're shooting. Boom, I just thought of something I don't like. One time last year, I thought I stuck my phone in my pocket, and I didn't. I stuck it between my saddle and my hip, and then I knocked it with my elbow when I turned around, and my phone rolled down this hill, hit a rock, jumped, fell like 15 feet off this cliff, and it took me like 2 hours to find it. So I don't like that happened, but that has nothing to do with Cruzr, really. But let me tell you, I'm going to have trouble not using a saddle from here on out. This is just, I don't even know how to explain to you how great Cruzr is. Like, this video is probably not doing a good job because I'm rambling. Just take my word for it. You don't know who I am probably. That's fine. Just go buy Cruzr saddles and you may call me your best friend after that. It's worth it. This is where the bridge system connects. It's very stiff material. I don't know what's in it, but you can see if I try to bend it, it's pretty stiff, very solid. Then where your attachments go in here, your lineman's rope, also very stiff. I acted like I was going to pull it and show you how stiff it is, but like that's going to demonstrate anything. The MOLLE webbing on the back. People who saddle hunt are notoriously gear junkies. I wasn't really too big of a gear junkie. I don't know which came first, the gear junkie or the saddle hunter. Probably the gear junkie. They probably invented saddle hunting so they could show off all their gear, if I had to guess. And that's why they make like a million MOLLE webbing pieces, which these are super sturdy, overstitched, 3 layers of stitching at least. But this is where you can attach your dump pouch. So this is normally already on here, but I actually took this off and I use it on my Kafaru quiver. I hold my Nalgene in it. Just to show you an idea of how big this thing is. This is a 32 ounce Nalgene, 4 of these a day is a gallon, and you can just literally watch it disappear. And you can close this up. But the way this attaches, you can attach it up here if you want. You attach these to these lower ones, which makes a little bit more sense. Pop. That comes through. Boom. It's on. And that's not going anywhere. Hard as a rock. Alright guys, so that's a quick and dirty version of saddle review. I'll post Cruzr in the links below. So let's talk about what Cruzr has coming out this next year. They have aluminum sticks coming out. They've got some carbon sticks in the work. Those aren't released yet. I don't think there's a date on those yet. They got some new swag. And the thing I am most stoked about is they got a bag coming out. They buy saddle hunters for saddle hunters. And I cannot wait to get my hands on that. Big shout out to Chad. I really appreciate you and the Cruzr team and staff. They have an awesome podcast I've been listening to. They aren't just whitetail hunters. They turkey hunt. They waterfowl hunt. They do a little bit of everything. Go check out their YouTube. I'll link it on here or down below. So I'm super excited. You know, I love Made in USA products. I think we should do our best to spend our money wisely, be good stewards of our money, but that doesn't mean buying cheap gear, because your safety is more important than saving 50 bucks. You will not be disappointed in Cruzr's gear. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me questions down below, comments. You can find me on Instagram at bloodlinesoutdoors. Hit up Cruzr, check out their website. But I really appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, and hopefully we can see you in the field. Check Cruzr out, guys. You won't be disappointed. Later.